Welcome to Will Bootcamp, the road ahead and beyond the bootcamp. Sharing a Zen wisdom, it is greater to conquer yourself than to win 1,000 battles. Then the victory is yours and no one can take it away from you. The value of will wisdom can only be realized by another who is awake or knowledgeable in their will. To act on your knowledge, skills and talents, we need the courage to stir the inner movement within us before it reflects in our outer actions and deeds. Slipping into the procrastination pit and being unable to climb out of it represents the hopelessness that is experienced by people because of their lack of awareness of their will consciousness, and at times not having the guidance to overcome it, and this greatly limits the things that they can do in their life. Will wisdom is something that greatly empowers an individual by making him or her add value and increase their value to the society. Some people do take their will forces for granted and don't consciously harness or empower it, and then live life miserably or self-destructively. We must help another being to wake up to their will consciousness and through that build their processes for strengthening their will. Because those who lack will strength or its wisdom will also lack the ability to take advantage of opportunities that come their way. The act of waking another to their own will consciousness is similar to bringing a light to banish the destructive shadow of inertia. And in a way, you would be empowering them with the will processes and knowledge. We are really happy we did this camp and hope you feel the same too. There are few things you can do to help us in more ways than one. You can consider using your will exercises for our requests, starting from a thought to action perspective to allowing your inner mind to guide you. First way you can help, donation. There is no obligation for you to make a donation for having been part of the Will Bootcamp. As an organization, we strive to transform and strengthen the core will of people, and our resources play a role on whether we reach 10 people or 10,000 people. We receive with humble gratitude every contribution irrespective of the amount you have donated, which could have been based on inner changes you have experienced, or how these changes can strengthen the pursuit of your life goals, or how you benchmark this program vis-a-vis any other you have seen, heard or experienced, and most importantly, on your financial constraints and your capacity to give. This contribution will help us evolve this program better, also make it easier to reach far and wide, to curate other innovative cutting-edge programs, and to grow as an organization along with training, developing, sustaining our team of mentors. If you require, we can provide you with a receipt for your contribution, but do note you will not be able to avail any tax benefits for your donation, as our documentation process for these exemptions will still take a while. You are also welcome to remember us and contribute at any other point in your life. Also to help raise funds or grants, or give advice, suggestions, or connect us to the right people, and to make regular contributions and so on. Second way you can help someone you know. You can also help us in our mission to empower people in their will by helping one person through the next 3 to 6 months amongst your family members, friends, colleagues, juniors, employees, and so on, to become more aware of their will and help them through their struggles and challenges of procrastination, with some or all of the processes you have learnt, done, and experienced. You can take this up as your medium-term bravery task. Third way you can help, introduce a person. You can help us by introducing new members to the upcoming bootcamp beginning on the 1st of next month by sharing the joining link and a word or two perhaps on the bootcamp and the positive changes you have experienced. Else they may think of it as some routine forward that they get from time to time. Of course, don't share the whole journey with them and let them experience it for themselves, like sharing about any good movie. Only give them a little trailer and what the journey entails. Fourth way you can help: feedback. You can send your feedback via email or through the WhatsApp on the group or as a private message. This would be in a way your test whether the changes are real and that you have overcome inertia to send us the feedback, or you were only speaking those words of inner change. Anyways, just kidding, please do send. Share your feedback basis 1. Technical feedback, that is, podcast quality, clarity of the message, duration, written content, and posting times, and any other technical or operational feedback of sorts to improve the experience for others. 2. Camp and task feedback. How was the bootcamp experience overall? Feedback on the bootcamp tasks. What changes did you observe in yourself? What you liked and didn't like about the camp? On doing it as a group, support you received, any suggestions, and so on. Fifth way you can help: volunteering. 1. You can enlist with us as a volunteer based on your available time and energies for any time of the year or month, to work alongside us to sustain other boot camps, offline or online, as co-admins, or create your own Will Bootcamp group for your near and dear friends and colleagues. 2. You can volunteer for some of our programs if it occurs near any nearby government school to you. Volunteer to strengthen the will for your neighborhood children or local community. All this would help us reach a larger pool of people to help transform their will and also raise some monies for the foundation along the way. Lastly, and the sixth way you can help: Will Forces Guild, an online community whose larger purpose is to help people anywhere and everywhere, without boundaries and distinctions, to work with others and on themselves on strengthening their will and to help them reach their highest potential or caliber and become strong in their will. Criteria for joining: members should have completed the 21-day Will Boot Camp. They must be an adult over 21 years of age. There is no obligation for you to join or to stay on in the group if it doesn't work for you. We would post content on will strengthening, written and podcast formats as and when released by us, or similar content from other sources, and also provide support and advices to queries when possible. We would also occasionally post some workshop content. However, it would be limited to once or twice a month as promotional posts. Reasons to join the guild: 1. To act as support group along with other participants who have completed the 21-day Will Bootcamp, to nudge each other and help keep up the daily rhythm and continue their will strength process. 2. To act as support for some participants who didn't do all these tasks and they may now need to bounce off others if they are doing it right, and to nudge everyone a little to keep up the practices. 3. As a community for each one to share knowledge, practices, relevant content on will strengthening, some articles that you came across, some YouTube video, some quote or some book on will or anything relevant, and so on. The point to remember is that it must be relevant to the larger purpose of the guild, that is, working on our will and those of others. 4. Will is something we must continuously work on. That is, support will be needed from someone who has already walked the path of working on their will, especially on those disruption days like falling ill, a family wedding, where getting back to our will processes and to our daily rhythm can become a challenge for some on the group. Having a support group helps. 5. To help someone else too, like your family, friends, colleagues, employees, and so on, to strengthen their will, and from time to time you may come across some new challenges which you may want to bounce off the guild. 6. To become aware of your will consciousness and improve your understanding in this realm as a student of will, vis-a-vis improve your role as a teacher, mentor, coach, counselor, parent, and so on. You may want to take up this work on will strengthening as a consultant on our behalf, or add this role or knowledge along with any other work that you may be currently doing in the realm of human development. 8. To help the wider community of humanity to strengthen their will. It would be pointless if only we are stronger in our will and the rest of the society is struggling with it. Because in the end, we are going to be living amongst them. And if we don't do anything about it, many people would have gotten stuck in this pit of inertia and no one to pull them out. 9. As an organization or an individual, during one's lifespan, we can truly transform the core will of a few hundred or maybe a few thousand lives. But as a community working together, we can strengthen the will of the entire nation in the next 20 years, provided we get going today. To join this community, you can click on the link Will Forces Guild. The current Will Bootcamp group and the admin group will continue to be open until the end of the month. So you can read some old post, re-listen to some podcast, save the content, or you can share your daily challenges or tasks done message with others on the group to act as a mutual support instead of suddenly disengaging after an intense 21 days transformational exercise and to avoid reverting back to your old ways. However, you are not obligated to post them, and we are relieved of our obligation to reply as well, and we may still continue to support you basis our time and energies. At the end of the month, the camp will be disbanded by us, and what was started consciously must also end consciously. Closing thoughts. Our content has always been simple, and our USP is in how we deliver them. We focus on building the pathways during will camps and not really focused at these times to build any particular knowledge, skill or talent. The Will Bootcamp was about strengthening your overall will in the realm of body, feeling and thinking. This was not a focused working to strengthen any particular will dimension. Such will work happens in our specially curated workshops and programs. Our 3 leading programs: 1. Stargazing Camp, 2. Apprentice Education Program for the 14 to 24-year-olds, 3. Inner Strength Program. The Will Bootcamp is like the booster rocket to propel you in your workspace or for you to leverage this will strength to showcase your best to the world. Be a student of will, do your gratitude and acts of bravery every day, educate others in their will forces and its importance, and in a way help transform people you know in their will. An old saying for the close: watch your thoughts, for they become your words. Watch your words, for they become your deeds. Watch your deeds, for they become your habits. Watch your habits, for they become your destiny. Give your greatest to humanity. Put in your Olympic best to achieve or excel in whatever you're doing. Whether it's running a business, teaching, mentoring, counseling, as a coach or a parent, or to up your work performance to the highest level possible for you. Wishing you strength, courage and grace, I'm Captain Preetham Madhukar from Skills Beyond Education, signing off.